Okay, I've wanted to do this video for a long time. This is my top 10 favorite video games of all time. This was always one of my favorite questions to ask my customers at the game store. I worked at a game store in college at EB Games before it turned into GameStop. I just think it says so much about a person, what kind of entertainment they're into, and just like what area of gaming makes them the most excited. If you disagree with my list, that's totally cool. Let me know down below in the comments what your top 10 games of all time would be. Are they the same as mine or some different? Let me know. Let's have a discussion. That's the most fun part of all this. This list is ordered. I put them in order. I started with my top 20 games. I curated them down to 10, and I do have them ordered from 10 down to 1. Nothing drives me more crazy than a top 10 list that is not ordered. So these are in order. I've been playing games for a long time. My parents had an Atari back in the day, and then I remember when me and my brother got our NES. That's when my love of gaming began to blossom. And, you know, those games are great and everything, but it's really hard for me to go back and play like old games now, like NES games and even Super Nintendo. Like I have a hard time going back to those. So a lot of these games are, I guess, in like the newer batch of generations, I would say, like from Xbox on. I just feel like those old early games were kind of just a stepping stone until we could get to the games that we had later and now. So you're not going to see a whole lot of old games in here. Just a heads up. Okay, number 10. Oddly enough, this is a racing game that I absolutely love. And I didn't think I was going to have a racing game on this list, but this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of those games I can go back to anytime and have just an absolute blast. Burnout 3 Takedown for the Xbox. I believe it was for PS2 as well. This is my original copy from back in the day. This game is so much fun. I am not a sim racing fan. I'm an arcade racing fan all the way. I loved how it didn't have an open world. It was just menus. You go into crash mode. Taking out cars is a feeling like no other, and it never got old. I love just taking down other cars by smashing into them, and then they had the crash mode in here, which was even more fun. The soundtrack was great. I love everything about this game. I put so many hours into it. It didn't even feel like a racing game. It almost felt like just like a visceral like fighting game because you were like bashing into the other cars and stuff. I love it. The sense of speed I think holds up today. I would love for a Switch version of this to come. I know we have Burnout Paradise, but I don't know. Burnout Paradise is not great. I would much rather have this. I'm glad that we have a Burnout game, but this is the one that I love the most. I think this one is just fantastic. So number 10, Burnout 3. This next one is a game like no other, and I feel like to this day it still is super unique, and there's nothing else quite like it. This is back from when EA was taking chances on new IPs like Dead Space, and this was the other one that they kind of put all their marbles into. And right when I saw the opening trailer and heard that music, I knew we were going to be in for something special. Mirror's Edge is number 9. This game is definitely something special. I love first-person games where the focus is not just on shooting. The focus in this game is on moving and parkour and keeping your momentum up. And it just makes this flow that I just get lost in. And I absolutely love it. It's so fun. I love the look of this game. I think it totally still holds up. Again, I would love a Switch port of this. I think this game is definitely something special. When EA put this out, I was like, oh my gosh, they're taking chances on new, fresh ideas, things that, you know, we haven't seen a million times with a cool character and a cool story. The cutscenes were really stupid and the story was not great, but the parkour, the art direction, the music, and just the overall feeling of this game gave me something unlike I'd never felt before and really haven't still to this day. Just so you know how much I like it, I have this on PS3. I have it on 360. That's one thing. A lot of these games I have multiple times just because I love them so much. And then they came out with a sequel called Catalyst. It wasn't as good as the first one, unfortunately, but I'm glad that they took a chance on it. And then I remember I went to GameStop and they had this thing. This thing is so cool. There's Mirror's Edge little figures. I never opened it just because I think it's so cool. But it has figures from Mirror's Edge Catalyst. This is one of my prized possessions in my collection. I would love for another game. Come on, EA. Let's do it. or at least just a port to Switch. Let's go. All right, number 8 is an RPG, an action RPG. I know you guys are waiting for those. I'm really into action combat and action RPGs. This one might be, I think it is my favorite. Kingdoms of Amalur. This is the Re-Reckoning edition. It originally came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and it was put out by Kurt Schilling's game development studio, of all things. It was like their first game. I remember they were betting big on this. They thought it was going to be like, they were going to make an MMO and multiple games and this and that. And I was like, whatever, it's an action RPG, I'll try it. And I ended up falling in love with it. This is an absolutely fantastic action RPG. I have it for Xbox 360 as well. I just didn't take the time to fish it out. When it came to Switch, I was so excited. This is a great port of it. The combat is awesome. There's tons of different weapons you can try. The combat changes up it changes up immensely depending on which weapon you're using. The story is kind of whatever, and that was one of the big knocks people had about it. But I don't care about the story at all in this game. I come for the quests. I come for the combat and the loot. Probably one of the best action RPGs of all time. If you haven't checked this one out and you're into action RPGs, you owe it to yourself to take a look. The next one's a weird one. This one also came out on the 360 and PS3 generation. It's by Ninja Theory, actually. They've been doing the Hellblade games and putting me to sleep with how boring those are. But before they did that, they actually made really fun games like Heavenly Sword and this one, Enslaved. This game is a real treasure that not enough people talk about. It's based on Journey to the West. It deals with Monkey. And to be honest, one of the reasons why this game sticks with me the most is the ending. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's an ending that I still think about to this day. If you've played it, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, give this game a play and just see it for yourself. I think this game is really something special. It has lots of platforming and parkour and action combat. It's got some stealth sequences, but I thought they were really well done. Helping out your Trip, the other character. This game is just something else, and it's a game that does not get enough love. I just got it for my Steam Deck as well. It was like $2 or $3 or something. Super cool game, Enslaved. The end sticks with you. If you've played it, drop me some comments below about what you thought about the ending. I'm not a story guy, but after all these years, I still think about it from time to time. And that's when you dealt with a game that was very special. Okay, the next one came out during the Xbox One and PS4 generation, actually. So not that old. And it's based on a movie, believe it or not. And it's a movie I've never even seen. I've never seen the movie. I know nothing about the source material. All I heard is that it was developed by Avalanche. And that studio is responsible for the Just Cause games. So that's what made me check it out initially. And that game is Mad Max. This is an open world post-apocalyptic game in which you are upgrading vehicles and taking over outposts. And it sounds kind of generic and like all the other games that have given us open world fatigue, but everything is so well done and there's such an attention to detail that makes this game so addictive. I could not put this game down. After I finished it, I kept playing it. I put an insane amount of time into this game. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. There's all these upgrades you can do to your vehicle, and some of them are like harpoons, and you can like attach it to some of the enemy bases and like tear parts off. And there's car combat. And there's, just like in Just Cause, you have to go around to different areas on the map and clear them out. And it'll tell you if you got all the little treasures and items in that area. So it's like check, check, check. You're just going through like this like list of check marks, going through, finding stuff, exploring. The combat feels like Arkham Asylum. It really does. They did a fantastic job. The fighting is great. It's got the counters just like the Batman games did. And the car combat is what really puts this game over the edge. I think not enough people sing this game's praises. I think it's one of the best games that Avalanche has ever done. And it's It's an amazing piece of software. If you like open world games, please check this one out. Okay, next one's another RPG. This one I had kind of a hard time picking which one in the series I wanted to include. Just because I love all of them. All the recent ones. Well, you'll see what I mean. Fallout. I'm not a Bethesda RPG guy too much. Like, I never got into Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind too much. Like, it's cool to have like a world that you can explore. But it wasn't until this game came out that I was really sucked into a Bethesda world. I never played Fallout 1 or 2, like the old school ones. And I heard this one was, a new take on the Fallout games. It looked like a Bethesda RPG, but it didn't play like one. And the VAT system was something that I was very, very hesitant about. When I heard that, it was a first-person shooter, but whenever you were going to go into combat, it would stop time or really slow time down, and it would almost become like a turn-based thing. I almost lost interest completely. But I decided to rent it. I gave it a go, and this game just absolutely blew me away. I remember I kept thinking over and over again, like, this game's incredible. Like, this game is just amazing and awesome. And I couldn't stop playing this game. I actually finished all the DLC for this one, which is not something that I do very often. I just thought that Fallout 3 was just a masterpiece. I still do. Where's our Switch port? I keep asking for all these Switch ports during this video. Bring it to Switch. We have the Outer Worlds, but like, come on. We need Fallout and New Vegas. New Vegas was amazing as well. I think I like 3 better than this one, and I actually like 4 quite a bit. It's over there. But 4 is awesome too. Like, I love all these games, and I love the VAT system. I was crushed about Fallout 76. When that game came out, I was all in on it. Like, let's go. Bethesda's not going to steer us wrong.
16 times the detail.
We saw what happened with that. So, but Fallout 3 is the one that I picked for just my number 5 game of all time. I can't sing this game's praises enough. All right, next one's a weird one. Very weird one. This one originally came out in the 360. It was a budget title, believe it or not. I think I got it for like $20 when it came out, just to take a chance on it. And it's gone down as one of the most polarizing games in gaming history. I'm on the loving it side of it, obviously. Deadly Premonition. This is a game by Swery. This game... This game looks and plays like a Dreamcast game, but for me, as a huge Dreamcast fan, that is a huge win in my book. The graphics aren't great, the controls aren't great, but the story, the music, the vibe, the characters, everything else about this game is what makes it truly special. So I could see why a lot of people could see this game and say, like, no, like, this game is not good, it's not worth the time. The controls are bad. The driving around the town takes forever. Like, it definitely has problems, but those problems didn't affect me at all. I loved this game right from the start and played it through. And then when they brought it to Switch, I was so happy. So they do have a Switch version. This plays great. I also got it on Steam Deck. It doesn't play on Steam Deck. It just crashes. So if you're going to play it, get the Switch version. This is a great version of it. I'm regretting not getting the collector's edition for this because I think it's just such a special game and one of my all-time favorites. I love York. I love how he talks to himself, and they talk about movies when they go in the car. And everybody always equates this game to Twin Peaks. I've never seen Twin Peaks, but since I love this game so much, I probably should check that show out. Let me know if you've watched that show and played this, and let me know if it's worth me putting the time into Twin Peaks. But absolutely love Deadly Premonition. Over the past couple of years, the roguelike genre has been taking off. Lots of games like Hades have been taking off, and people have just been getting a kick out of the roguelike genre. I haven't really, except for one game. And if you saw my Switch tier list, you probably know where I'm going with this. Dead Cells. What can I say about Dead Cells? Dead Cells is a roguelike game, but I believe it has some of the best controls ever in a game. Everything that I do in this game feels good, has a great response, has a great sound to reflect it on screen. I just get into a zone when I play this game that's indescribable. I love getting the different weapons. I love trying different runs and getting different randomized loot, and that's not me. Like, I'm not into that stuff at all. But the controls of this game and the way it looks, I love the pixelated nature of this game and just the way it looks. I absolutely adore it. Oh, this game is so amazing. I love Dead Cells. And I also have the Castlevania expansion as well. I think these games are so amazing. I just love the combat. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks. Yeah, it's the only roguelike game I can get into, and I absolutely adore it. Okay, the next one. This is number 2. I should have been saying the numbers this whole time. This next one is something very special. I remember this game came out and everybody talked about it, and I couldn't wait to play it. And when I played it, I knew I was playing something very special and something that was unlike anything I'd ever played before, and that's Bioshock. The Bioshock, the reason why I love Bioshock is because of the world. I love Rapture. I think the idea of a city gone wrong under the ocean is so cool, and just run by, Andrew Ryan into the ground, and you going there, and the twist that happens in there really took me for a loop. So it got me caring about the story, and the gameplay was fantastic. It was a great first-person shooter, mixing the shooting with the magic aspects that you had with the plasmids. It wasn't very difficult. I know that was a lot of people's like a negative for them, but it was just more. I was more able to enjoy the world and the story and the gameplay. I wish that the final boss would have been a little bit cooler and more of a challenge, but it really doesn't put a damper on what's my second favorite game of all time. The only thing that I don't like about this that they fixed in 2 was whenever you had to hack something, you had to play like this pipe dream mini game, and that got old real quick because I was hacking everything and picking locks and everything. So that got old quick. In the second Bioshock, they made it like a little meter that went back and forth. That worked a lot better, and I actually liked Bioshock 2 as well. I wasn't a big Infinite fan, but the first one just has a special place in my heart. If they would have put the lock picking and hacking mini game into the first one, I would have loved this one even more. But this game is definitely one of my favorites. When I heard it was coming to Switch, I was even more excited. Unfortunately, all the games aren't on the card. You have to download a lot of it. But small price to pay to have, 3 games from one of my favorite series on the go.
Betrayed by the weak. So I ask you, my friend, if your life were the prize.
Okay, so number 1. This game makes me sad now, because the third one came out, and I don't even like to talk about it. Shenmue 2. I love Shenmue, and I have a long history with this game. You guys know I'm not that into story, but the story was so easy to understand. Like, your father was killed. Go find the guy that did it. And that's it. So, the story was that cut and dry. There were red herrings all over the place. You were constantly going to this place and going to this place. The first Shenmue, I kind of played it, and I was amazed by, the world building that they did, the music. The music to this day is some of my favorite game music of all time. The characters, the voice acting was terrible, but it was kind of endearing at the same time. but not a whole lot happened in Shenmue 1. And I remember being angry when the first one ended. I was like, that's it? That's it? Like, what about my father's killer? I didn't know it was supposed to be like 12 games or whatever Yu Suzuki said. And it was years later until I played the second. I did not get the Dreamcast European version. I just waited for it to come to Xbox. And because I, played through one and didn't think all that highly of it, I wasn't really that excited for it, to be honest. And then when Shenmue 2 came out, I remember I got it used. I waited a while for it to go down in price. Got it for like $8 or something. And I played through Shenmue 2, and it was the first time that I felt like I was actually transported to a different place in a video game. Right when you get off the boat in Shenmue 2 and you're walking around the shops and the little kid comes up to you and they thank you for being nice to him on the ship or whatever. That is that was mind-blowing to me. And the game kept going, and there were some moments in that game that to this day are just etched in my memory forever. Don Yu and Lan Di up on the top of that rooftop, and Lan Di gets on the helicopter and flies away. Oh, man. But again, that game ended on a cliffhanger. And I was like, what? Like, what is going on? And, but that game really got to me. Shenmue 2 was amazing. Shenmue 2 was something special. And when it ended, I was really bummed. We waited for years and years and years for 3 to come out. And Yu Suzuki squandered that opportunity to finish the story. And 3 was just a waste of time. It was a waste of money. It was just a waste. I didn't even finish 3. I got so sick of the hunger meter, and I didn't want to keep leveling up my fighting by doing all those boring mini games. So I never even finished 3. I went and watched the video on YouTube, and I couldn't believe that's how they ended it. They didn't move it like one needle. Like, it was insane. And now NN Games is talking about bringing 3 to the Switch. Like, we don't want it. Like, I don't want to play that game again. Like, no thanks. So, super bummed about that. But it doesn't change the fact that Shenmue 2 is my absolute favorite game of all time. So many great moments in that. Even though 1 is okay and 3 is a total nightmare, 2 still holds an extremely special place in my heart, and will always do so.
You're up already?
I must find Ren.
So yeah, guys, let me know below, what are your favorite games of all time? Let me know if you would have added any to my list. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with my list, and that's okay. Let's have a discussion about it. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to my 559 subs. I am blown away, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I checked my subs the other day, and I just couldn't believe it. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to try my best to earn your subscription. So thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.
I have a Switch addiction.